Hello, my name is Josh and welcome back to FPL Graduates. In today's video, I'm going to be going through my latest team reveal before the Matchday 4 deadline. Let me know what your team's looking like in the comments down below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are on the road to 5k subscribers and we really want to help you guys to help us get us there. But before that, let's get into the team reveal. Okay then, so spoiler alert at the moment, I'm recording this on the 27th of June. So on the Thursday, obviously the games start on the Saturday, I believe. The reason I'm doing that is because I will be on holiday from tonight. So you probably won't see too much content. I'll try and get as many videos as I can out. Obviously there will be videos done previously as well. That's why I'm probably in the same outfit as the previous videos. But yeah, so this is my team. But to be quite honest, I don't see it changing too much at all, and if there is any changes, me and Ben both post our team reveals on Instagrams before the deadline, so make sure you follow us over there for the final team reveal and who will be captain and stuff like that. So yeah, getting into the team then. On the bench we've got Pence and Sabitzer, two Austrian players playing on the 2nd of July. I mentioned in the best draft that we uploaded previously that I really think there's a strong chance that Austria can make it to the semi-finals. Obviously, they've got to beat Turkey first, then the Netherlands if they beat Romania. So for me, it's a really strong chance that they can make it deep into this competition. They've impressed me massively so far in this tournament. You know, beating the likes of the Netherlands. They lost to France just because of an own goal. And then, yeah, obviously, again, won pretty convincingly 3-1 in their other group game. So for me, Austria look good. Pence is going to have some good games in order for them to go through this competition. And if I'm predicting them to get to the semi-finals, you'd expect them to maybe keep some clean sheets throughout that time. Sabitzer, for me, is one of the best assets in midfield at the moment. He's a captaincy option for the July the 2nd games where there's only the Netherlands and Austria playing. So, yeah, for me, really nice option. There's potential on penalties if Arnautovic isn't on the pitch. He also takes all the set pieces for corners and free kicks and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, really nice options there. And if you also think that Austria are going to go deep into competition, let me know what assets you're looking at. Maybe Baumgartner as well. He's obviously another midfield option you could potentially look at too. Elsewhere on the bench, we've got Cancelo. For me, he's the most nailed and least likely to get rotated Portuguese defender. He also carries decent attacking threat as well. So, yeah, I think he's a good option. Obviously, playing on the 1st of July. A really decent fixture, to be fair, for Portugal against Slovenia. You'd expect them to progress out of that fixture for sure. So, yeah, again, I think high clean sheet potential for Portugal in that game. The final player on the bench is Cody Gakpo. Again, the captaincy on that final day, if I need it, is going to be between Gakpo and Sabitzer. As I mentioned in that best team draft, I think it's absolutely imperative that you have a captaincy option on the 2nd of July. A lot of people will overlook that and sort of just be like, well, I'm going to pick the likes of Kane, Mbappe, maybe a German midfielder. So I'd expect to have a captaincy return out of those three, but you can never guarantee it. So far in this tournament, I've only had one captaincy return in Matchday 2, and then have had captain blanks in Matchday 1 and in Matchday 3 throughout the whole of those games. So I don't think the captaincy returns are as easy as what they have been in maybe previous versions of this game. I remember in Euro 2021, 2021, or whatever you want to call it, we used to switch the captaincy from maybe like an 8-pointer to try and get like over 10 points. If I got an 8-pointer in captaincy at the moment, I would be 100% sticking with that 8-pointer right now, because the captaincy return is just really hard to come by. So yeah, and we've seen that with the likes of the goal scorers. Top goal scorer in the tournament's got 3 goals, and it's the Georgian forward. So there's just not been a plethora of goals and hauls that we're used to seeing maybe in like UCL fantasy and Euro fantasy gone by. So for me, having those two captaincy options on that final day, really important, and both sides with decent fixtures, with Netherlands facing Romania and Austria facing Turkey. So yeah, really happy with that. And then the final pick obviously on this team is the goalkeeper Unai Simon. Spain have a really high chance of a clean sheet against Georgia. Obviously Simon is their first choice goalkeeper as well. So yeah, he'll be in there for me on that 30th of June game. Happy as days. Okay then, so moving into the defence, we've got Cucurella up first, 4.5 million euros. He's been in basically every single video that I've made before Matchday 4. I just think he's a superb asset. There's no Spain defender that really gets near him. He's averaging 8 ball recoveries per game. Spain have kept a clean sheet in every single game so far in this tournament, and they've got a very, very good fixture as well, obviously against Georgia. So for me, high clean sheet potential, high ball recovery potential. You could even make a case for captaining him in this match day. So yeah, for me, a really, really nice option. Next up in the defence, we've got 2 England defenders. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm sort of target, because I don't have a wild card or a limitless, I'm targeting the teams that I think will go furthest in the tournament. And for me, I think England, despite their poor performances, they will still go deep into this tournament. So for me, again, 2 defenders. England defensively have conceded the least amount of XG in this tournament. So yeah, Gahey, an absolute ball recovery magnet. He's got 26 ball recoveries in the group stage so far. Unbelievable numbers from him. We've then got his partner as well, John Stones. Cheaper than Kyle Walker, at 0.5 cheaper, and he's getting, I think, only 2 less ball recoveries so far in this tournament. So yeah, for me, 2 really nice options. 2 options that I think will at least get to the quarterfinals at the very least. I think they will surpass Slovakia. And again, Slovakia, they have scored, I think, in every single game of the group stage so far, but they're not the best attacking team going forward. So for me, I think the clean sheet there should be as close as it can say to locked. The final defender in this team is going to be Mittelstadt. I think this is probably one of the areas that could potentially change. He's obviously super, super cheap, which is great, 4 million euros. But the issue here is that Germany have Denmark in this game, which is not the easiest fixture at all. And then after that, they could potentially face Spain or Georgia, depending on who progresses out of that game. So for me, Mittelstadt is an okay asset. If you think they will keep a clean sheet against Denmark, I think you've got to have him in there, which is what I do think will happen. Thought Denmark haven't looked too great going forward themselves this tournament. So yeah, for me, Mittelstadt is in there at the moment, but definitely not as good of a pick as he has been in the earlier rounds of the group stage. Moving on into midfield then, and it's very similar to the best Matchday 4 draft. We've got Bruno Fernandes up first. I think for me, he is the best Portuguese asset that you can choose right now. Really, really strong numbers. Just looks really good. Obviously scored in Matchday 2 as well, albeit a really open goal. But he's just an absolute chance creator, goal scorer. He's great. I think for me, I'd rather him than Ronaldo. You obviously save that million euros as well. Nico Williams is up next. He's my favourite Spain midfielder at the moment. Between him and Pedri, I think Pedri is also a good option if you fancied him. But for me, Nico Williams just offers that electricity. So if you're watching the games, especially if you watched him against Italy, you'd see how dangerous he could be. Obviously, he hit the bar in that game, created loads of chances in that game too. Cole Palmer is up next. Now, at the time of recording, I have no clue on the England team. However, if he doesn't start, just end the video there. It'll be hilarious if he actually isn't starting. But yeah, I just think he's so good. When he came on, he needs a start. He needs to be starting in his team. He's the first player that I've seen in this tournament for England just run at players. As soon as he got the ball, he just started running at players every single time he got it as well. And that's exactly what we need if we're going to break down a team like Slovakia. So yeah, for me, if he starts, or even if he doesn't, because I think there's a good chance that he'll play at least 30 minutes if he doesn't start, he's going to be in my draft. And a nice differential as well. I think currently only at 5% owned. Obviously, he hasn't played so far in the tournament, barring that one, well, cameo against Slovenia. Finally, then, we've got Jamal Musiala. He'll be my captain for Matchday 1. A decent game against Denmark. I think it'll be interesting to watch that game. Really going to be sort of a tactical sort of masterclass, whether Denmark play that sort of 5 at the back system that they did against England and try and shut out Germany, or whether they try and go for it themselves. It's going to be very, very interesting. Musiala himself has been one of my favourite players to watch at this tournament, and been really, really good in front of goal as well. Obviously, no real set-piece threat or any penalties to go with him, so if you've wanted that, I'd maybe look at Ilkay Gundogan instead. But for me, Musiala, just so explosive, fun to watch as well. There's a couple of fun picks in this midfield, like the Palmer, Nico Williams as well. So yeah, for me, a really nice option, and definitely will be my captain come the first day of Matchday 4. Okay then, so rounding off the team, it's going to be Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe. Harry Kane is in there just because I just can't see a world where England are progressing through this tournament with him not being involved somehow. He is integral to England and England's success over previous tournaments as well. I know he's not hit the ground running in this tournament, obviously just the one goal so far. But for me, on penalties as well, especially when you're maybe including players like Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer into the team, who are going to be direct, running at fullbacks, high chances of penalties. So yeah, for me, I think he's definitely going to be in my team come the deadline. Definitely could make an argument for maybe choosing Alvaro Morata, Cristiano Ronaldo, any of those guys. I think the forward slots are very open to interpretation for this match day. But as I alluded to earlier, I do think England will progress, if I'm being honest, to at least the semi-finals. I think the Switzerland-Italy game will be difficult, but I think it will suit England a little bit more playing a team like that, rather than a team like Slovakia, for example. I think the Slovakia game could potentially be more of a banana peel for them rather than those Switzerland and Italy games. And then, as I previously mentioned, I think Austria could progress to the semi-finals on that side. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, of course. It never goes how we predict it, let's be honest. So, you know, you never know what might happen. And England could easily get knocked out to Slovakia on penalties. You know, they have not played well so far this tournament. But I do expect those performances to improve as we progress through this tournament. England never ever have started well in any group stage at all. They've always played pretty poorly throughout the group stage, even in Euro 2020. It's just people don't really remember the group stage. They always remember those semi-finals, quarter-final wins, etc. So yeah, for me, he's going to be in there. And Kylian Mbappe as well, the 1st of July, really good game against Belgium. I mentioned in a previous video, Belgium's defence is just slow. They don't have a lot of fast defenders, and I'd even make an argument that you could potentially choose 2 French attackers. And I think I probably would do that if the fixture after Belgium was a little bit kinder, but they could be, if they do beat Belgium and then Portugal also progress, it's going to be a France versus Portugal quarter-final, which isn't ideal if you've got double attack against, you know, the likes of that Cancelo defence as well. So yeah, for me, I'll stick with Mbappe. I think him on his own is a good enough asset anyway, and probably will be my captain on the 1st of July. It'll be between him and Bruno Fernandes, that is for sure. So yeah, that is my full team reveal before match day 4. Okay then, so that wraps up our Matchday 4 team reveal. Let me know what yours is looking like in the comments down below. If you've watched till the end to this part, make sure you do leave a comment saying England quarterfinals, and then we'll see how many people have watched to the end. If you haven't already as well, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate your support throughout all of this Euro Fantasy content as well. Obviously, at the time of recording, it's just after, should I say, Matchday 3 deadline. So obviously, if there's any sort of team news and stuff like that, we'll obviously be reporting that over our various social medias of TikTok and Instagram as well, probably the main ones. So make sure you definitely follow us over there, which I'm sure you guys already do. Thank you very much for watching. That's been my Matchday 4 team reveal. Have a good match day, everyone.
So you may rise, but you'll never make me